Welcome into a brand new episode of Audionots, your pop culture palate cleanser. I am Eric Oldboy, online with the star of Ren and Morty, Ren himself. What is happening, my man?
What is up, man? It feels good. Feels good to be back.
Yeah, we've been taking long breaks in between. It seems every episode that anybody listens to is us starting off by going, "It's been a while since we did one of these." It's like a once a month podcast.
Yep. Yeah, I've been so busy moving. Like I said before, I bought a house
Ooh,
in this
buddy.
in this crazy ass market. I decided to buy a house.
I
And
love
then
it.
I was so busy moving, setting up. And then my room was like half done. And yeah.
It looks good though. I can see behind you. You got a lot of cool stuff, Rock. In fact, you got something really cool the last couple of days. I think we should talk about. You pre-ordered it. It finally came. Tell everybody
Oh,
about the coolest toy ever. Do you have
it,
it? Do you have it to show?
I do. You want to start the show off of this?
I just want to, well, I just want to jump into it. So, because this is going to be a good episode. Before we show off his cool toy, we're kind of rejiggering the episode a little bit. We're trying to make it a little bit more evergreen. So, we're going to start bringing in some categories that are longer lasting than just pop culture stuff. And you'll see us start to adapt and change more and more to that as we go on for the remainder of the year. But this episode, also, because of the amount of time it's been between episodes, has quite possibly, and I am not over exaggerating, the best news jacuzzi ever.
Really?
Oh my gosh, so many good news jacuzzi. In fact, let me give you some of the headlines so everybody sticks around to the end because we do the news jacuzzi at the end. You're not, this is going to blow your mind. First headline: Florida man allegedly crashes into FedEx truck while receiving oral sex.
I'm intrigued.
Headline two: California woman finds $36,000 in a couch she bought off of Craigslist. Who buys off of Craigslist? This is one of my favorites. This one's good. Man eaten by piranhas after jumping into a lake, fleeing from bees. Out of one into another. Woman dips hot wings into her vagina. Oh, why would you do that? Well, we're going to
It's
find out.
so spicy.
And then, wait for it. We're not done sticking things in the wrong orifices. Superstar chess player, world renowned chess player, is accused of cheating by using vibrating anal beads. So that's something we can all look forward to towards the end of the news jacuzzi.
That makes no sense.
Oh, we'll get into it. We'll get into it for sure. There's been a lot of ruckus in the chess world. All right, but now I'm so excited. We've been talking about it a little bit. Let's see, let's hear and see. So for those listening, you got to be very descriptive. For those watching on YouTube, you got to see this thing firsthand because I do believe he's got it just off camera.
Yes,
What
yes.
is it that you recently got, Mister
It
Ren?
it came in yesterday. I went home sick just to receive it.
He went home sick.
Check it out. Boom. It's that
Ooh.
Steam Deck. Let's go. If I actually focus.
There it is. It
Got
is
beauty that. Ooh.
the one, the only Steam Deck. This fool's got a Steam Deck, and I know Ren. I know him well. So I would guess this thing comes in 3 levels. That's the very best version. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Tell us about it. Tell us what you kind of learned from it, what you like for it, and we'll hit you up in maybe a couple episodes after to see if you're still loving it.
Yeah, if I'm spending big money, man, gotta get the best thing.
Well, you've
It,
always been that way. You've never gone middle ground. You're always,
because
always
because when you do middle ground or uh, it's you always end up regretting like, damn it,
that's true.
I should have got more memory.
Yeah, no regrets here.
But it's hefty, man. It looks pretty big,
It
and I
looks like a
thought,
Switch.
yeah, I thought that it was gonna be heavy, but when I picked it up, it's pretty light for what it is. It's the screen is probably as big as my Nintendo Switch, but
Yeah.
the controllers are like bulky, like
Do you have your Nintendo
Xbox.
Switch within grabbing distance? Can you
Oh
show
yeah, I
them
did.
both?
Yeah,
Show them
yeah.
both side by side. So this
All
is
right,
really a visual thing. So if you're
for real.
listening, jump onto YouTube if you want to see this. Okay, so it
Yeah.
looks like the
Oh shit.
oh it looks like the Steam Deck is 20% wider and maybe 5% taller than the Switch, but pull the Switch down so we can see just the screen by screen comparison.
Oh shit. There we go.
Can you do it? Oh, you're right. The screens are very similar in size.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay. Tell
So
us
this,
graphics though. How are the graphics? Are they way better on the Steam Deck?
yeah. So my Switch is a Nintendo Switch OLED.
Okay.
It does have the better screen, and the Steam Deck's screen way better. I think right now it's at 1080 by 800 or something like that. Some weird.
Okay.
And then the games I'm playing right now, it's defaulted to 30 frames per second, and it's way crisp. I'm playing Elden Ring on it, and it looks
Okay.
so nice.
So these games you can play any. Let me just make sure I understand for anybody who doesn't know what a Steam Deck is. Steam is a software company, right? Or it's a software service. You buy other video games through this kind of online portal, and they're just cloud-based games. But usually they're games you could get. If you wanted to go to the store and buy a hard copy, you could, right?
Yeah, but then whose computer has like CD players now?
Yeah, nobody's. That's right. So, but these are the same games. These are literal PC games that are being played on the Steam Deck. So you can play. Is there any limitations to the PC games you can play?
It depends. For example, if PlayStation exclusive,
Yeah,
it only comes out on PlayStation, then you won't be able to get on PC.
got it.
But they've been changed that. Like, uh, I think
Spider
Sony,
Man.
yeah, Sony knows that it's a big market, and so they release Spider Man, they release God of War, all that stuff
Yeah.
is coming to PC. So for me, my PC is built better than PS PlayStation,
Yep.
better graphics. So I'm like, why do I need a PlayStation? Let's
Yep.
get a PC.
Yeah, Kid Danger's the same way. I kept trying to talk him into getting the new Xbox, and instead he went for a better graphics card, cost just as much. So, but he's the same way. He uses his Xbox controller on his PC, and he plays all of his favorite games that way. He really likes it. So that makes a lot of sense. So what's cool about your Steam Deck now is you have access to all of your library. If you've bought it on Steam, you can get to it on your Steam Deck, I'm assuming.
Well, there's a catch.
Okay.
Not all games are compatible on the Steam Deck.
Oh,
So it'll tell you that it's compatible. It'll give you a warning if it's not. Like for example, Cyberpunk.
okay.
You can play it, but it gives you a warning
That's gonna
because
look
like
awful.
it looks fine.
Okay.
But some of the text that pops up in the game, it's really small to see. So
Okay.
they tell you like press this button to zoom in so you can see or stuff like that. So like it's not made for the Steam Deck portable
So
small
every
screen.
game can't be formatted or hasn't been formatted all the way yet.
Yeah, so like Elden Ring completely playable on the Steam Deck. I just bought NBA 2K23.
Nice.
Yeah, and they look amazing so far.
Well, that's the best part. Both of us are getting older. I'm older than you, but you're getting older as well. And we were talking about it offline a little bit. When you're young, a young whippersnapper, you're buying the newest games,
Yeah.
you're spending time in front of a big TV, or you're spending time in your battle station, and you don't mind dedicating time to game playing. But once you start owning homes and having to do yard work and all these other things that come with grown-up life, you have less time for games. So it's nice to have a portable option when everybody's just kind of chilling, maybe in the living room watching TV or something. You could bust that out and play some NBA 2K and still spend time with your loved ones.
Yeah, that's exactly the reason why they got it. Because for me, I'm not a PC bro where I play games on my PC all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a console player, and it's a console. It's a console, and it's a PC console. It plays like a console. It has controllers, so you could add mouse pad and keyboard, but then it's like a tiny ass screen. So why not just play your PC?
Yeah, that's what you were talking about. There's a lot of options to basically turn it into a computer. So if you wanted to, I suppose if you really wanted to, because it's not the cheapest thing in the world, say you could skip owning a gaming PC and make the Steam Deck your gaming PC and then just dock it to a monitor if you wanted to. Is that right?
Yeah, you could buy like all brand docks, or wait for Valve's new dock that they're working on, and just
Got it.
plug into a monitor, and you're good.
Yeah. So I mean, honestly, it's equivalent to me almost of a laptop, right? So it's the laptop video game system. And so it's pretty cool. You brought it to work and we were looking at it and I was shocked at how light it was for how
Yeah,
big it looks and how many options it gives you for controller types. You have the different thumb grips, you got the little mouse paddy thing on it.
yeah. I think the best part is the handle for the controller, because for example, the Nintendo Switch is kind of small, right?
Yeah,
So your hand can't really grip the whole like bottom base of it. And this one's kind of feels like an Xbox where you can fully grip the control.
that's cool. Didn't you say you could also connect an Xbox controller to it if you wanted to?
Yeah,
That's sweet.
it's like a mini PC. If you play on PC, then you can do the same thing on there.
I think what I like about it is just it's got so much um available options, things you can do with it. You're not so like confined to one type of playing with it. You can play with a controller, you can play it on a bigger TV, you can play it on its own, and then you're not limited to one system's games, right? You have anything that's ever shown up on a PC that's been formatted, and I'm assuming more and more things will be formatted if this thing takes off.
Yeah, the only downfall is it takes a little longer to get to the PC because
Mm.
if it comes out, in November, you might get it in December or not even like or months later.
Right. That's true. That's true. Yeah. So when you bought this, how long did it take to get it?
I pre-ordered this in March
Of last year or this year?
this year. Yeah,
Okay. So March of this year. So it took a while because I went to their website after I saw yours. I'm like, oh, I want one. And I was looking at it and it still says that all you can do is sign up to get in a queue at this point.
yeah. Basically, you get in a queue, and then once your name is drawn, you're like, all right, you can buy it now, and you can buy it. But production's been pretty good, and they guarantee delivery this year.
Oh, that's cool. So
You
for anybody out there that's like listening or watching and they're like, that's cool. This might be the perfect Christmas present, but I'd probably jump on it. I wouldn't wait too long.
Yeah, but then you waited this long. You should just wait for like Steam Deck 2.
Oh,
Yeah,
there you go. Wait for part two. I wonder how often they're going to come out with new hardware versus just firmware updates. Because I wonder if it's like a normal console where it's like a 6-year process before Steam Deck 2 comes out.
right. Because they over the weekend it was the Tokyo Game Show,
Yeah.
and they debut their Steam Deck over there too for like the Asian markets and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and it went really well. So everyone's excited.
Well, I think what's cool about it is I don't think you have to worry about them not making games for it anymore if it pulls from the Steam system because that's been around forever and it's going to keep going on. It's not going to go anywhere. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I own a Neo Geo and then after 16 games they never make another Neo Geo game again.
Yeah, I mean the hardest part was to get the graphics looking good, and I think they got that. Like Elden Ring's a huge game and it looks beautiful on it.
Yeah.
And
That's
like there's the big three, the Nintendo, Sony, and Xbox.
mhm.
And they had the Tokyo Game Show. Steam was part of the big three. Now it's like becoming the big four because PC
Oh.
gaming's so big now.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed having a young teenager in my household is he 100% prefers PC gaming over console gaming. Behind me, I've got every game system known to man, and he plays those only if I walk up here and bug him to play them.
Yeah. No, I got my PC.
Yeah, he'd rather just sit here and do his thing because he runs the multiple screens. He's doing his gaming thing over here while his Discord's over here, and they're yapping about some stupid stuff. Who knows?
Yeah, the biggest transition for me was I'm not a PC gamer,
Yeah.
so I don't do mouse and keyboard all too
Mm,
well, and I'm a PlayStation dude,
yeah.
and so coming to PC, it's kind of like defaulted to Xbox control.
Hmm.
So I'm like, where the hell is the X button or the Y button? And I'm used to X and squares and
Yep.
triangles and stuff. Like,
Yep.
where the hell is
Yeah.
it? Yeah, so
You have to relearn them all.
yeah,
ABC or whatever theirs is. That's cool. That's awesome. Well, you got a lot of cool things going on. You got a new house, you got new video games, you got all sorts of new stuff. Every time I talk to you, you're like, check out my new thing.
yeah. It was hard to get this one because like we just bought a house. You gotta save money for mortgage now. She's like, how come you spending a lot of money on that thing? It's so expensive. Like, bro, this is my tax money. I saved, put on the side, beginning of the year. So I
Yeah.
had this money before we bought the house. Yeah.
It's smart. Yeah, that's smart. That's the right way to go. I think that's super cool. Do you have anything else you want to bring up before we get into the meat of the show?
No, let's get into it, man. Ready?
All right, let's go. Let's start off with a healthy stream. Okay, so Disney. Holy smokes, Disney. We've been off the air for a while. They've been doing a lot of things. She-Hulk's been out. We talked about that a little bit. We've seen more of it. And then they had their Disney, what do they call it? Disney
Like
Days. I forgot
D23 or something.
yeah, D's Nuts 23, where they announced all sorts of different shows and movies. And so we'll do a quick kind of once over so everybody knows what's coming out in case you didn't hear. Like if you were like head in the sand, too busy, wasn't paying attention. There's some cool stuff coming out.
Yeah, they
Um,
were relying us to give them news, but we weren't able to for the longest time.
Oh, you want to hear? I'm gonna take one side. I'm gonna take a side street here real quick. This is pretty wild. So I had never, I've never Googled Audionots. Just, and I got like a wild hair up my butt for something. Somebody was talking about something, and it made me think. And so, have you ever Googled Audionots?
No, it was like a name we just made up because we're
Right. So I Googled it, and we're definitely like the number one Audionauts that shows up if you spell it Nots. So if you spell it like we spell it, Audionots, Audionauts, not good at audio, that's us. Where we dominate all the pages. But here's this is the part that cracked me up, and I never realized it was happening. You're gonna have to Google it and see for yourself because you're gonna laugh. You won't believe the amount of real news pop culture websites that quote our
no,
Instagram, our
no
Twitter
way.
account as a source, a news source.
We're that reliable
Yeah,
in
I
the
was,
news.
dude, I was shocked. It was page after page of pop culture website going, Audionaut says this about this thing. Audionaut says, and it would take literal screenshots of like the tweets and post them as reliable sources. So if you hear it here, it's a reliable source, my friends.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks to all the audio nets out there making our Twitter page look awesome.
Yeah, our Twitter page is just the bomb. It's been growing and growing and growing. All right, so back to Disney Plus. We're gonna break some more news that we'll do something crazy about, and we'll get quoted in some pop culture website that you like better than us. Um, there was lots of trailers. So I didn't even, I sent you, I always send behind the scenes, I send Ren like a list of trailers he needs to watch. I didn't bother sending him any of these because I just assumed that he saw the D23 trailers. So here's hoping.
Yeah, I usually watch the good ones, but some of the ones you send me like so random. Like what?
Well, so I sent
Sure.
you random ones. I didn't send you any of these. So here's hoping. We'll start with the sequels, right? So they gave us some sequel trailers to some shows that we've been watching. I think the biggest one has to be The Mandalorian season 3. And I don't know about you, but I went full lightsaber. I don't know that I've been this excited for a trailer in a while. And I don't want to sound like I say this every time because I probably do, but I mean it this time.
Your dark saber was tight.
Oh, for sure. What did you think? I mean, it looked dope.
Yeah, dude, because you're including more Mandalorian. You think your dad was the only Mandalorian?
Well, yeah, we got Grogu back. We're getting mad Mandalorians. And
Mhm.
the best part is I feel like they're kind of fixing one of the things fans have been wondering about for a while, where we're like, well, how come Bo-Katan always took her helmet off? How come Boba Fett took his helmet off? How come all these other Mandos always took their helmet off and he didn't? And so even in the trailer, you see her kind of reference that you're part of a cult, bro. The rest of us
Yeah,
aren't like that.
yeah. Because if you watch the Clone Wars, they you know that what cult they're part of.
Yeah. That's right. And that's another nice thing is that it kind of ties in with everything. And after kind of, in my opinion, a disappointing Boba Fett season, uh, I'm super stoked on this. I'm hoping that they're going to pull it together. It's going to be better than ever, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I know it'd be funny if like they're like, "Hey, Mando," all the Mando's turn.
Yeah, this poor fool never even got like a special name. Everybody just called him by his. It'd be like if everybody's like, "Hey, white guy." I'm like, "What? Which one?" Um, so there was the Mandalorian. We also got the Willow trailer. I used to actually really enjoy Willow movie when I was a kid, and I recently rewatched it about 6 months ago. And it kind of holds up. It's kind of slow. You forget that movies in the 80s had a really different pacing than movies of today. So I'm excited to see this new version. They bring back the character or the actor that actually plays Willow. So that's kind of neat. What do you think about the Willow trailer?
And for me, it became too like teeny bopper Narnia looking show.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
I'm
fair.
like, I'll give it a try, but yeah, that's
That's it. I think it looks pretty good. I don't know enough about, what the story is and those kinds of things yet, but I have enough fandom left over from my youth to watch. I think it probably the whole season, honestly, unless it's absolutely god awful. But it's not. it wouldn't be unusual for Disney to ruin something and make it too cheesy because they're famous for that.
Yeah, because you gotta understand that they're trying to target a new audience. They don't care about you. They know you're gonna watch it, but
It's
they're
it's a
trying to get
fair
the young
point.
ones.
That's a really good point. Next they gave us some new stuff, and I didn't write down everything that they put out, but only the ones that like tickled my fancy.
Yeah,
The next one that tickled my fancy just because of how weird it looks was Werewolf by Night. So, from everything I've heard, it's kind of a one-off, almost Halloween type special. Werewolf by Night is actually a Marvel comic, so in theory, this should belong in the MCU. Some keen-eyed internet users also think they saw the Swamp Thing, or whatever they call him in Marvel Universe. What do they call him? Something else. Something
toxic
like
toxic Avenger.
no, the
Wait,
Toxic
that's something
Avenger.
else. Huh?
That's something completely different. The Swamp Thing's like I think it's a Swamp Thing.
I think Swamp Thing DC.
God, which is it then? It's a Swamp Thing looking thing. So Marvel
Yeah,
and DC all have the same characters with different names. So they spotted that thing. I should go back. I should have wrote it down, but I didn't. But it looks weird that like you were not sure about Willow. I'm not so sure about Werewolf by Night. The whole thing's in black and white, and it looks very hokey. Like, but it looks like it's supposed to be hokey. I don't know.
yeah. My only issue with it's I didn't realize that it was a Marvel show, and
Yeah,
then once I realized it was a Marvel show, I'm like, I don't know, man. They're trying to do horror. It's
but it's like kid horror. It like
yeah,
it's clearly because it's Disney Plus. It's like looks real silly too, and it's black and white. And so I think that they're trying to tiptoe into like what I would call a Y7 type horror TV show that also happens to deal with a character ripped out of the Marvel comics.
yeah. I'll probably watch it though.
Yeah, I mean it's only one episode. It's probably like 45 minutes, an hour long. I'll give it a whirl. The next thing they gave us that I'm actually super pumped about was the trailer or teaser trailer for Secret Invasion. We talked about last episode which things we wanted to see out of all the group of stuff that's coming out, and that was one of the ones I was super excited about. We get a lot of Nick Fury. I'm pretty pumped on that. What did you think about the Secret Invasion trailer?
Yeah, I'm not a big Samuel L. Jackson fan.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you know he was in Jurassic Park Part One?
Think so. I think
Damn.
so.
Yeah, my wife
He's
was
he
watching that, and I
he's
was
in
like,
everything.
he's in this one too. God damn.
He's never seen a role he won't turn or will turn down.
Yeah, but I'm really intrigued now too because the whole like mystery aspect of it, like, because you don't know who's a cruel. What do you call those guys?
Krolls or yeah, something
Yeah,
like
like
that.
so that's like the mystery aspect. I'm kind of curious to see.
Well, I like, the one thing I have to give Marvel credit for is they're doing different things. I mean, these are very different things. Everybody, when they were in the last phase, everybody's like, oh, everything Marvel does is cookie cutter. It's all the same. They just keep repeating the same thing, the same formula. And so Marvel's like, okay. And they start just making all sorts of crazy stuff. But with that, I think you end up with a lot of hits and a lot of misses. But to get those hits, you got to have a few misses. This looks like it could be a hit. It looks almost like a spy thriller, like a cloak
Yeah,
and dagger type spy thriller more than a superhero thing. And that looks pretty neat to me.
yeah. I think this one it doesn't really need to have superpower stuff, and I think
Yeah,
it'll be okay.
agreed. Agreed. And then they gave us the lineup for the Thunderbolts. I think I had this saved somewhere. Maybe I didn't. Do you remember off the top of your
How,
head who
how
the
come?
Thunderbolts?
Yeah, how come Winter Soldier's in there? Like, I
I
thought
think
Thunderbolts were like kind of like the.
the bad guys. Yeah,
Is it because like he has such a bad history? He's like, yeah, I'm part of it. You guys know.
I guess. I'm just gonna try to remember off the top of my head. So it was all side characters other than the Winter Soldier that weren't huge. So we get the Russian bro from Black Widow. We
The
get the
ScarJo's
ghost.
sister.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah, we get a little Florence Pugh.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Pew pew.
pew pew pew. I bet you Florence Pugh smells delicious. We also get the ghost vibrating chick from Ant-Man,
Yeah.
and we get the
Uh,
Taskmaster everybody hated from Black Widow. So we're getting a lot. Now I'm thinking about it. I'm saying out loud, there's a lot of Black Widow characters,
half the teams from Black Widow.
and they're all controlled by Julia Louise Dreyfus from Seinfeld.
Is the
It's
dude from Winter Soldier in there too? Winter Soldier and Falcon, the mask, the one that was that dancing.
oh Zemo. I
Zemo,
think
yeah.
I think Zemo's in there. Honestly, yeah, I think so. I'm like I said, I should have wrote it down. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Let me pull it real quick.
Pull it up. I'll buy some time. While he's pulling up, I've also been watching She-Hulk. Here's a fun fact about She-Hulk. Did you know the creator of She-Hulk made Pickle Rick? That wrote the Pickle Rick episode.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. She or he.
her name
She
is
did
Jessica Gao.
the one with the rat stuff, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, where he made the rats into like a superhuman thing.
Yeah.
The She-Hulk show for me so far has been very mid. It's kind of hit and miss. Like some episodes I enjoy, some episodes I absolutely hate. There's some characters that just don't work in my opinion. Like the one girl that like tries to copyright the She-Hulk name, Tatiana or whatever she's
Oh
called.
yeah.
And she's a good actress. I've seen her in other things, but how they have her playing this part is just stupid.
I know. I feel like this show, it's kind of it's like a wannabe Deadpool in a way. That they want to be
Yes.
silly, breaking the fourth wall. And man, their CG is terrible, dude. I can't stand the way she looks. It's like looks so bad.
Yeah, the CG is awful. It wants to be a sitcom, which I'm okay with. Like I said, Disney's taking big swings and doing different things, but I don't know. A lot of times I feel anymore with Marvel. I'm just watching to see. I wonder if that character will show up in something else again. Whenever I see anything, I'm like, oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, I think the best part, She-Hulk, is gonna be Daredevil.
Yes. So we haven't seen the Daredevil episode. That's I think tomorrow from when. So by the time you guys listen to this, you'll probably have seen the Daredevil debut. The one thing that I did actually find amusing was Wongers
Wongers and Madison.
Madison.
Yeah,
Madison. It's got a Y in it, but not where you'd expect. So I do like Madison and Wongers. That part was actually pretty funny.
yeah. Oh, so I pulled up the Thunderbolts.
All right, let's hear it.
The only person that we're missing. So we got to minus Zemo and add the Captain America that was bad.
Oh, yeah, the ugly Captain America.
Yeah,
What is his name? Something Patriot or
yeah.
okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. Also on Disney Plus, I watched the new Pinocchio movie. Have you seen it yet?
No, I keep asking the wife, "You want to watch this?" And she has like no interest in it, so I
Oh,
haven't seen it.
that's fair. The effects are kind of they're not bad. So like the Pinocchio special effects are pretty decent. Like the only time it looks bad is when they bring in real people to mix in with the effects. So when it's almost just a fully animated movie, it works pretty good. When they have Tom Hanks trying to like hang out like with giant like whales chasing after him, it looks ridiculous, like super fake. But the story is almost shot for shot a copy of Pinocchio. So if you liked Pinocchio, you'll like the story. It's the exact same story. I mean, they had one like random new segment that didn't belong or wasn't in the original movie, and that's about it.
See, that's my issue, right? Like, not not that format. It's like they're making a live action, so they it's a copy from the animation.
Yep.
And then what the hell happened to Mulan, man? Every other movie was like shot for shot, but then Mulan's like freaking whole
Completely
different.
different.
Yeah, it's like what the hell, dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like a lot of them have been a little bit different. This one was very, very close to the original movie, other than like I said, they added a new character and a whole new like expanded scene where he's kind of trapped by the puppeteer guy.
yeah.
But I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it. I would say it was just a money grab, but it went straight to Disney Plus. So I don't know if they made any money off of it. So I'm not sure what the real purpose was. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Disney has never made a good live action version of one of their cartoons. Yeah, you're trying to
Hmm.
think about it, but I can't think of one I like.
The Lion King.
Nope.
It's terrible.
This one, honestly, if I was gonna rank them, it would be at the top end. Like it wasn't
Really?
awful. Yeah, we sat there and we watched it, and when I was done, I was like, that was okay, but it wasn't great. You know, the OG 1940 something cartoon is just as good. So
Okay, okay. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of people would disagree with you, but
that they hated it,
like the
that they loved it.
people love Beauty and the Beast, you know?
Oh, the live action one.
Yeah.
Bleh. And then tonight, you guys will definitely be able to see this next time you listen to it or listen to this episode. Andor is coming out. So we're finally going to get our episode of Andor. This one is the one we talked about. I was pretty excited about. So I'm jazzed to talk about this once we finally see an episode.
I know. We actually get three. They're gonna release three. No, they
Really?
released three. Yeah,
They're gonna put out all three?
I think so. There's only
I,
three episodes.
no, I think there's more than three episodes, but have they ever done that where they put out
I,
multiple episodes at
I
first?
I read somewhere where they're giving us three episodes to begin with.
Well, I'm pulling it up right now because I got my Disney Plus right here.
Because when Obi-Wan debuted, they gave us two.
Oh, that's true. Here we go. I'm clicking on. Oh, yeah, you're right. Three episodes streaming now. So
Every
we
time,
get
every time I say Andor, I keep wanting to say Nandor.
like on what we do in the shadows.
Nandor, the relentless. You know.
Dude, I'm making a T Public shirt. Andor the Relentless. I'm on it. Over on the Netflix, I've been watching a few things. I'm sure you've watched a few of these things. Cuphead season 2. I'm a big Cuphead fan. Always talking about Cuphead. Got that Cuphead love. If you watch the first season, this is a lot like it. It's still good, still funny. Probably not for everybody, but I think it's cute.
I haven't seen
Um,
it, so
yeah, you've never seen it, so you have no opinion. Day Shift. I got around to Day Shift. Last time you told me you go watch Day Shift because we were talking about the Samaritan, and you're like, this is this other one that you've never seen. So I watched it, I think literally after we recorded our episode, and you were right. Day Shift is a good movie.
yeah, dude. It it low key has like one of the best action scenes.
The scene in the rental house when they go like all the vampires.
Yeah, with the two brothers.
Yes,
Man, they're
yeah.
like combo attacking and shit, clocking weapons and bullets. Ah, dude, that's freaking awesome, man.
Yeah, so I think it's fair that both of us would recommend Day Shift. It's a great movie. It's on Netflix right now. You should watch it. It's about vampires and how they kill them. And I don't know if you like vampires, it's funny. It's funny
Yeah.
too. Like I thought you said Dave Franco came off kind of wussy. I think I remembered, but I kind of liked him. Them making him wussy at first and clearly building him up to be something better for the next iteration of the movie, the sequel.
Yeah, because you just don't think too much. Just watch the movie and enjoy the movie.
Yeah, no, and I dug it. I think, for whatever reason, Netflix has been doing a little bit better with their original movies. They're not quite as awful as they used to be.
And their action sequences, man.
Yeah, agreed. As long as they don't have a
Yeah.
lot of special effects. Special effects, for whatever reason, have all gone to, trash since the pandemic. So anything with too much special effects is terrible. Lock and Key, the new season of Lock and Key. I'm gonna be 100% honest. We got 1.5 episodes into it, and we were like, oh. We haven't watched anymore.
Oh, we finished it.
Okay, what did you
And
think? Does it get better? Because I remember last season I had the same problem where I almost gave up on it after the first episode, and you're like, "No, stick with it; it gets better," and it did. You were right. And this episode was less where I was mad because it was hokey. Because now in my mind I understand it's hokey, but I was just kind of bored. So does it get
yeah,
better?
no, it's pretty boring, and the whole season's kind of like, you're so stupid. Why are you doing that? You know.
Yeah, that's the
And
worst.
then yeah, and then they're ending it. They're ending the whole series, so they kind of just want to close it out.
Oh, really? So there's only one more season left?
This is the
Or
last season.
oh, this is the last season.
Yeah,
Okay, well then let me ask you: does it wrap up nicely? Did you enjoy how they concluded it?
yeah, they wrapped it up, and then they kind of teased a little at the end, but it's like you just leave it that wrapped up. You don't need it. You don't need any more. You're
They
good.
probably won't make it anymore. I'm not sure that it's doing that well. So do you recommend it on a scale of 1 to 10 nuts? What would you give Lock and Key this
Like
new season?
like a four, dude.
Oh, so
It was kind of boring and it was kind of like just annoying the whole time.
a little less than average. Fair
Yeah.
enough. Fair enough. I did watch the new season of Never Have I Ever. Have you ever watched that yet?
I never went past season one.
Oh, so there's a new season
Yeah.
and it's really funny. So this show you wouldn't think was made for a middle-aged white man, but it is hilarious. I really enjoy it. My wife likes it. It's one of these shows that we can watch together and we both laugh all the way through it. So I honestly would give that show a 7. It's good. It's funny. Um, then we have Cobra Kai, the new
The best
season,
show.
season 5. Oh my God, the show somehow, I mean, it jumped the shark 2 seasons ago. And this one, they said, forget jumping one shark. We're jumping 10 sharks. So it got extra wild. As you put it, it turned into a full-on action movie.
Yeah.
What did you think about Cobra Kai season 5?
I think the actors are like, F it. Let's just have fun, dude. Let's do whatever we want, man. Because we won't be here for long and let's just enjoy the ride. And They went like full on like parody, funny, making fun of it themselves, and just it's so ridiculous.
That's a really good point. I felt and I noticed that too. It definitely felt like more of a parody than anything. They were making fun of themselves. They were making fun of the genre quite a bit. They had like literal scenes that were like almost making fun of like 80s movies, and
Yeah.
I like that part. So I liked how silly it was. Of course, their epic conclusion episode gets me every time. I'm just like, God damn it, why did I watch this? And so the season as a whole, sure, I'd give it a 5, call it average. The last episode was so stupid that I give it like a 2, though.
Yeah, it's so funny because like you have this like all valley tournament, and then all of a sudden, oh shit, they're good enough to go global. It's like,
It's so ridiculous. I saw a meme that
oh
said
my god.
two middle-aged men's having like midlife crisis cause gang turf war.
Yeah, but I'm in it, man. You just have to like don't think, just be in it with the silliness, and you'll enjoy it like
Yeah.
me.
I suppose if you've made it to season 5, you're gonna watch it anyways. So, but if you're just starting, watch the first 2 seasons and call it a day and find something better. The next show that I watched only because is when I finished Cobra Kai just a few days ago. Netflix is always like, you should watch this next show.
You need more.
Yeah, so they hooked me on a new show called The Imperfects, and I would have never clicked on this because it looks like a Walmart X-Men. I mean, just looks like low budget X-Men. And I've watched 2 episodes, and I'm here, and only 2 episodes, so I can't give it a full recommendation yet. But I'm enjoying it. Here's
Really?
here's what
Really?
listen. You're gonna have to watch it to believe me, because I know you're not going to, because I wouldn't believe me either if I was telling me this and hadn't seen it. But the acting is actually really good, which is shocking for a show. And everybody hasn't seen The Imperfects is essentially they monkeyed with DNA of these people that didn't realize that it was happening to them. And one day they stopped giving them the medication that kept the side effects down, and they all wake up with superpowers. So the 3 are a chupacabra, a banshee, and a succubus. And so these are like the first 3 powered people. And the effects aren't amazing, but they're also not as awful as I would have expected. And the acting is pretty premium. In fact, I really like the kid. I don't know who the actor is that plays the chupacabra type, you know, werewolf conversion type kid. He's good. He's a good actor. I would like to see him in other things. So
Oh,
I've only watched,
you like him?
yeah, seeing
Yeah,
something.
I watched the first episode.
Oh, you have?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I thought you hadn't seen any of it. So what did you think of the acting?
because the for me, I like supernatural stuff. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, werewolf, I'm in.
Yeah.
Turns out it's a freaking chupacabra.
But it's cool. It's really cool. And in the second episode, they actually show him like transform.
He is gonna be the lead in One Piece live action.
Oh, cool. Very cool.
So he's playing Luffy.
Oh, dude, that's gonna make Kid Danger so excited. That is Kid Danger. I'm looking around because I know we have him in here. That's like his favorite anime, dude.
So hopefully Netflix will be good and make that show good for you guys.
They won't, but we can still hope.
Yeah.
We know they won't. So let's just be
Yeah.
honest.
It's gonna be
Uh
another Death Note.
yeah, oh, I hope it's not that bad. So, anyways, Imperfects, it's not awful. We'll let you know as soon as I get through it all if it was worth watching, but it's been surprisingly decent. Over on Hulu, I've been watching a few shows. I watched This Fool. It's a sitcom about hugs, not thugs. This
Yeah.
yeah, these Hispanic bros are like, one of them gets out of jail. He's like this other guy's cousin, and he runs this kind of like program that helps revitalize these guys back into society and all these types of things. And it's actually really funny. So I like it so far. I was talking to one of our actual Hispanic friends, and he thought it might be a little bit racist. So I'm like, oh, maybe. I don't know. It never even occurred to me.
If it's racist, it shouldn't be on TV. It's on TV, man.
Yeah, that's right. How come nobody's canceled it?
Yeah.
So I think he just like he thought maybe it felt too stereotypical, but he hadn't watched it yet. So maybe
Yeah.
if he watched it, he would change his opinion. I think it's funny, but what do I know? Have you watched that? Have you watched that one at all?
No, on Hulu, I've been only watching catching up on Shadows.
Oh, okay, perfect. Shadows has been good, by the way. Shadows and Reservation Dogs have both been good this season.
Yeah, but I finished the one where they had like their makeover.
To
The
make
house, the
oh,
house makeover.
where they have the twins come and do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and then Nadia just fucking kills one of the twins. Like, oh shit.
like immediately, and then has to like trans everybody. Um, I've also been so I give this another show. There was a show I was kind of excited about on Hulu called Little Demon, and it was a cartoon. It was made by it has Aubrey Plaza and oh, what's his name?
Danny DeVito.
Thank you. Yes, Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito as the devil, and Aubrey Plaza is someone who apparently had a baby with the devil. And I'm here to tell you this cartoon is god awful. It is terrible. I would give it a 1. I watched one episode and I said, I'm out.
You love Plaza too.
Oh, I love me some Aubrey Plaza. But yeah, this show sucks. So maybe it's just not for me, but I just thought it was stupid. I saw a lot of people getting all the internet was getting all butthurt. They're like, look at Disney making satanic shows for kids. And I don't think that's what it is, but you know what? If you guys want to cancel it, go for it. It sucks. The other one that I've been watching on Hulu is Welcome to Wrexham. And that's the one where Ryan Reynolds and the McCallie guy, or whatever his name is, the dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, buy a soccer team
Yeah.
in Wrexham. And it's just a documentary, but it's actually really intriguing and kind of interesting. I've been enjoying it. So if anybody's looking for a documentary that's really an easy way to get into, this is one that's easy to get into. Over on Prime, I know you've seen more of this than I have, but the big show was Rings of Power, the Lord of the Rings show. I've only seen one episode. That's it. I thought it looked beautiful, but I haven't seen enough of it to know how the story is going. What did you think? Because have you seen it all or some?
I'm all cut up.
Okay.
For me, the issue is what you just said. It looks beautiful, and they spend too much time showing you the world that they created. Yeah, because there's like one scene where like she's riding a horse,
yeah,
you know, and they do like slow motion her riding horse, cuckoosh, cuckoosh. Her hair is like
the entire episode.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Dude, hurry up and then move on.
You're like, fast forward, fast forward, fast forward.
Yeah, it's just this storytelling is kind of boring to me. It's nothing's really happening. I know that they're setting up the world for you, setting up like all the characters.
Yeah.
But like my wife loves it because it's more of like a lore to Lord of the Rings.
Okay. Yeah,
So
yeah. If
like,
you're a Lord of the Rings fan, that makes
yeah.
sense.
So there's like a lot of connections that goes into Lord of the Rings. So oh shit, that's like their ancestors. That's related to that. That's this world, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And so she loves it because there's a lot of reference to that. But for me, it was like, man, the first episode, I fell asleep watching it.
I didn't find it as boring as you said you thought it was, but I also didn't find it intriguing enough to obviously keep up with it because I watched the first episode weeks and weeks ago and I haven't gone back.
Yeah.
So eventually I probably will. My wife, on the other hand, doesn't want any part of it. So I have to kind of watch it on my own during lunch breaks and things.
I think for me, the biggest turnoff, like I know that they spend a lot of money on production, but like the camera, it's too clean, man. It's like 4K, 8K or something like that. It looks so clean that you're kind of like taking out of it, you're watching House of the Dragon. It has like that dark filming looking,
broody, yeah.
Gets you into it. And this one's like it's so clean. You almost feel like, oh shit, they're just cosplaying now or something,
Right. It's almost, yeah. It's kind of like when you first get one of these new TVs before you turn off that filter that makes everything look like a soap opera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, speaking of House of the Dragon on HBO Max, that's the only thing I've been watching because, they canceled everything else. But damn, I like it. It's been, in my opinion, it's been right up there with the OG Game of Thrones shows. I like that they're taking their time. Not everything that happens has to be a spectacle, even though they've given us our fair share of dragons fairly early on. They've really developed the characters so we get to know them. And even when they have more quiet episodes like the wedding episode, you still feel the intensity just by the people getting upset and angry with each other.
Yeah, I feel like this show could have been like multiple seasons because, like you said, they're developing the characters really well. At the same time, they're like fast forwarding through a lot of events.
Yes. Yeah, because I think in the next episode we get the big time jump,
Yeah.
which you and I were talking about a little bit offline. And it's a bummer because personally, I really like the young actress that's playing. What is her name?
Rhaenyra.
Rhaenyra. Yeah, I like young Rhaenyra. that actress is really good. At first I was like, I don't know, because like she's no what's her face from Game of Thrones, and then I'm
She's
like,
no Khaleesi.
yeah, she wasn't
Yeah,
Khaleesi, but I'm like, oh, okay, I'm buying into it. And then as it's gone, I'm like, I really like her. They've made her kind of a badass, like right from the beginning. And then, like you said, they do the time jump, and for whatever reason, they swap out all the young actresses, but all the dudes get to stay the same.
yeah. I think the issue with I I'm not a big fan of the time jump. Maybe it's just because they didn't know how well people will take it, because like they're already renewed for season two.
Okay,
So maybe they went in not knowing that they're gonna get season two out of it. So like, let's put all this in because we're gonna tell the story.
right? They're trying to get through a whole story.
Yeah,
It is what it is. I haven't seen the new actresses. They might be even better, or it may be such a good job by them that we don't even really think about it too much. But I did hear that those young actresses were so popular that there's going to be some like scenes where they look back and see them again. So they will be back at some point.
yeah. For me, I mean, I love Damon as a character.
Yes.
Yeah, he's so like complex, but like he does a lot of things. But at the end of the day, he's like, dude, we're family, bro. You know?
Yeah. He's arrogant, he's selfish, but at the same time, he's not the bad guy that he should obviously be, right? And that's
Yeah,
what makes it good, right? So much stuff that you watch, people are like, "I'm a bad guy for no good reason," you know. He has a lot of reasons why he's pissed off and feels like he deserves more, and he's like that kind of guy where he's an alpha male and he's kind of upset that his older beta brother has been running the show kind of without any challenge for the longest time and doesn't seem to make up any really good decisions.
yeah. I think if like if he gave Damon the to be the next king,
Yeah.
the Targaryens would still be alive.
Oh, for sure. Right. He would have ruled with an iron fist
Yeah,
and
he was
they
like,
would.
"Fuck, kill you, fool."
For sure. So yeah, absolutely. If you're not watching House of Dragons and you are a Game of Thrones fan, you should absolutely jump in. And honestly, it's different enough from Game of Thrones that you could jump in fresh and still enjoy it. I'm certain of that.
Yeah, dude, I love the show, man. Like me watching that show and watching Rings of Power, oh, night and
It's like
day.
night and day. Literally, one of them's always dark, the other one's always light.
Yeah.
A few other TV tidbits. I've been watching the new season of Rick and Morty, season 5, I think. I've watched the first 3 episodes. It's not on HBO Max yet, but if you have satellite cable or YouTube TV, one of those types of providers, you can be watching it off of Cartoon Network, which is what I do. I just record it and watch it off Cartoon Network. But it's been excellent. It has not taken a dip. I'm here to tell you, if you like Rick and Morty, figure out how to watch it. Episode 3 was one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was absolutely killing me. So yeah, you got to find it if you're not watching it.
Nice. Nice. I haven't watched it. I don't have a fancy TV like you.
Figure out how to steal it. That's what the internet's for. One other TV tidbit for those of us who like Superman and Lois. You like Superman and Lois or no?
I watched it and then all of a sudden, like the only way you could watch it was on CW app and they don't give you all the episodes.
Oh, they're all on HBO Max now.
Yeah. But then at the time I just kind of stopped because I couldn't get the episodes.
Okay. So you will get back in, or maybe not. Maybe you won't get back in it because of this news. Superman and Lois are returning for a 3rd season. Good. It's a good thing. However, Jordan Elisas, the actor who plays Clark and Lois's son, Jonathan Kent, has left the series and won't come back. So they're going to have to replace
The
him.
heck? Why?
Yeah. It doesn't say why. I looked up and there's some sort of like argument. And so he straight up quit the show. And he was my favorite one because he's always the one that was kind of getting like the shaft. So
Wait, he's the older brother or younger brother?
isn't he the unpowered brother?
Yeah, he's the older brother then. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He was always my favorite because he like no matter what happened, there could be a dickhead like I'm all sad, but I can shoot lasers out of my eyes. And he'd be like, oh, no worries. And then he'd get yelled at. How dare you cheat at football? Whatever it was, something stupid.
So
So
that's Big Brother for you, man.
yeah, maybe he quit because he had such a shitty version of a character. Um Cool. I think that's it. That's all I have for the healthy stream.
Ooh.
We can jump into our brand new category. So this is exciting. So I'm going to call this shower thoughts. And essentially what we are going to do every episode is I have all these weird random thoughts in my shower. And I thought, well, let's bring these up. It's kind of an interesting conversation. And so I'll ask Rin a question and the two of us will each come up with some answers. In this case, I was thinking maybe three things. So if it was normal for men to carry purses, and don't get me wrong, a lot of men do carry purses these days. It's more normal than it used to be when I was a kid.
I
But it,
carry a purse myself, man. It's called fanny pack.
yeah, but say every guy, just like it was as commonplace as the ladies, every single guy was rocking around with a shoulder holder and had their purse going on. What three things would you keep in your purse? Because I look through my wife's purse and I'm like, what is all this crap? There's lipsticks and face masks and 16 different types of lotion, just like random junk, but never what I need. Do you have eyeglass cleaner? No, never.
I think for me will be my portable charger.
Okay. Yeah, that's smart.
I have the one that it's MagSafe, so it just clicks onto my phone and charges. That way you don't have to carry extra wires, right?
Right.
Maybe like a bottle of hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Okay.
That way, if you go out and eat and stuff, you could like feel safe.
Always have that hand sandy on hand.
But then you're not including like your wallet and phone and stuff like that, right?
No, because you would keep your wallet and phone. They're still in your pockets. Okay, so we're even though you have a purse, we know that's probably where to go. Those are obvious things.
Yeah.
You know, women have also all that obvious stuff in there too, but then they have like really weird random stuff.
And
Like,
then yeah, then my third one would be like a pocket knife.
okay, that's good for protection or for use.
For both.
Oh,
Because what
nice.
if like you're at the mall and then your girl's hair gets caught on the stairs? You're like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And then you pull out your pocket knife and cut off her hair.
That's a very extreme example. Let me ask you this. Are you going regular pocket knife or are you going like Swiss Army, like has all the stuff where you got spoons and toothpicks and shit
Nah,
on it?
regular pocket knife. It's too much, man. Too complicated.
Oh man, I love me a Swiss Army. When I was a kid, I used to have this thing called you're too young. I got 10 years on Ren, if anybody's wondering. When I was a kid, there was this thing they used to sell. It was one of the very first infomercials, and they used to sell just random garbage, and they still do. But it was called the Fisherman's Buddy. You ever even heard of this?
No, I'm gonna look it up right now.
Google it.
As you talk, yeah.
So the Fisherman's Buddy was, I don't know, the size of like a portable charger. It had some decent size to it. And it was like a next level version of a Swiss Army knife. So this thing had knives on it, but you could also pull out like a fishing pole out of it. It like had a reel built into it. It had a thing for lures. It had all this crap that made it so that's you could keep it in your pocket. And then like the guy in the commercial, the infomercial, be like, I feel like fishing. And then he would just be ready to rock. He'd be ready to go fishing.
I don't see anything of it.
You can't find anything on the
No.
Fisherman's Buddy.
Is
Oh
it
my
called
god.
something else?
No, it was definitely called the Fisherman's Buddy.
All I see
Wow.
is like see, there's a pocket knife.
See, let me look and see if I under images. Sometimes they see a picture of it. Maybe I've been naming it wrong the whole time.
Fisherman's friend.
Yeah, maybe I've been calling it wrong this whole time. We'll have to research that afterwards. I'll find out and I'll tweet about what it was really called.
Yeah.
I gotta swear, maybe it's so old nobody remembers it.
Yeah.
Well,
You made
here's
it up,
like,
man. You made it up.
look at this. Here's a video down below. It says, "Lonely man asks internet for fisher. Oh, for a fishing buddy. He just wanted somebody to go fishing with him. I thought he was looking for it. Like I was the only one that remembered it. What if this is one of those like Mandela effects and there was no fisherman's buddy?
It's like you're watching like let's say your kid's like sick, watching WandaVision,
Yeah,
and those fake commercial comes on. He thought it was real.
yeah. You know, it turns out maybe I've invented something and the fisherman's buddy never existed, but that's not true. I owned one. I had one. So, anyways, because I used to even think it was amazing back then, my parents got me one. So, I think in my purse, my camouflage purse, why not? If I'm gonna make it cool, I'm gonna have a fisherman's buddy. I don't know if I brought that up because that's dope. I'm gonna carry a Nintendo Switch. So, because I'm gonna have one of them big bags, you know, like I don't know what they even call them, but I've seen big purses that could hold a
Yeah.
Switch. And then last but not least, let me think about this. What's something else that I always need? Well, I would have to keep like some sort of drinkage. So maybe a sixer of something of like little guys. Like those little half sodas, something
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
I love those, man. Those are like the perfect size.
Yeah, perfect size. So I think that's what those would be my go-tos. I'd be able to stop and go fishing while I'm waiting for my bite. I could play some games and I could drink a couple pops.
Yeah, you got a big ass purse.
I'll have to like make a illustration of my purse versus your purse.
Man, it's crazy because like it made me think about stuff I carry in my car.
Yeah, like what?
Like most of the stuff that I carry in my car is not for me. Like I have lotion. 'Cause
Okay.
my wife's hand gets dry and she's like, "What's your lotion?" And it's lotion for her. And then the other thing that's weird is I have a bag full of plackers.
Oh, like placker smackers, the
Yeah,
guys that get the crap out of your teeth.
yeah.
That's not weird. That's a good one. That's actually a good one. I don't carry a purse, but I do carry a backpack, and I keep a bag of those in my
Oh,
backpack.
really? So
Yeah.
it's not strange.
Yeah, so it's not strange. You know what I keep a lot in my car, at least in the glove box, is like just mad things of napkins. So if I go into
Oh
some
yeah,
place and they have free for all napkins, I'll grab a stack the size of like a phone book and
yeah,
shove them in there just so I have them because you can blow your nose in them, you can wipe your face off. You never know when you're gonna need a napkin.
yeah. It's every fast food restaurants. You get a stack.
Yeah, heck yeah. And then you don't use them all and you save them because sometimes you get screwed and they don't give you one. You're like, oh no.
Yeah, we went to get sushi one time and we put some chopsticks away in the car.
Oh
The
yeah.
one time we needed chopsticks. Oh shit! Here we go.
But that's the thing my wife keeps in her purse is disposable silverware. So she always has plasticware in her purse for that exact reason. And she saved my behind handful of times. And straws. She keeps straws in her purse too.
Oh, I remember. We went at Starbucks. They didn't give me a goddamn straw, and then she took out the chopsticks and used it to stir my caramel
Oh,
macchiato.
nice. So that's you didn't even use it for a regular chopstick usage. You used it as a stir stick.
Yeah, I was like, bro, I'm getting a caramel macchiato, and you're not giving me a straw. How am I gonna stir my coffee? Yeah,
Like put your thumb on it, shake it. They give you those little nippled cups now.
yeah.
Cool. That was fun. All right, so let's move on to our next category, the tasty trailers. So I only have a few, and they're all weird. I sent you 100% weird, tasty trailers because I feel like we must be in like the dead zone in between, like when all the superhero stuff starts coming out.
Yeah.
So, the first one that I have is called Slumberland, starring Jason Momoa as like a weird, creepy nighttime sleepy slumber guy. I don't know what he's supposed to be, but it looks awful. It's a Netflix exclusive. Did you watch the trailer for Slumberland?
I did.
And
It looks like uh damn, what's that one show that Sweet Tooth? Like
oh,
if like he grew up from Sweet Tooth and he became like that animal looking thing.
what's weird about it is it's almost very Willy Wonka-ish, like
Yeah.
Jason Momoa. I just feel like
It's so
maybe
wanky.
it feels so miscast. Like maybe that's the only problem. Like Jason Momoa is probably fine in certain things. He's great as Aquaman or whatever, but it just feels weird for him to be like, whoop, whoop, welcome to Slumberland. It's just like, what the hell? Why Jason Momoa? Should have been some like weird comedian guy.
They wanted Johnny Depp, but he was kind of busy.
Yeah, Johnny Depp would have been a million times better, or any like those weird kind of quirky actors would have been better. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe we'll watch it and it'll be amazing. But Slumberland looks like garbage to me. The next one looks actually really interesting, and it wasn't. I don't think it's a big movie. It's almost like an indie movie. It's made by the guy that directed Mad Max, the new Mad Max movie, and the OG at Mad Max. So he's known for making some pretty cool movies. It's called 3,000 Years of Longing, and it stars Gilda Swinton and Idris Elba. And essentially, the story is um, Gilda Swinton or whatever her name is goes to like travel the world, goes to some sort of weird swap meet thing, and ends up getting a genie lamp. And this is a straight up genie in the bottle story, but
Yeah.
it looks so wild. The music's energetic, the acting feels strange, and she rubs the thing, and out comes Idris Elba saying, "Hey, you want some wishes?" And they almost looks like maybe they start to almost fall in love to some degree. And she at one point during the trailer wishes he was gone forever, and he's like, "No!" But there's just so much madness happening. I'm kind of interested in this film.
Yeah, it looks so weird. Like it was just weird.
It was the weirdest, wildest thing. If you haven't watched the trailers for 3,000 Years of Longing, go for it. I don't know if it'll be good or not, but I gotta give it points for being something new. It doesn't feel like anything I've seen. While that's a story as old as time, the Genie story, this is a really fresh, original take at the very least, even if it comes out like trash.
Yeah. I mean, it has big names, so
Yeah, yeah, and I love me some Idris Elba. He's good, but he's also in that stupid ass looking lion movie, so who knows?
beast.
That looks god. I
That looks
purposely
terrible.
never added that to our trailers because it looks so bad.
I actually watched that trailer.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My third and final trailer, because we're just keep having some fun ones here, is the sequel to Knives Out, Glass Onion. And what's interesting about this is also a Netflix original. This movie is
Really?
only coming out on Netflix. Yeah,
Oh shit.
and this
Well,
one looks pretty good.
I have never seen Knives Out
What?
because I got so salty with Ryan from Star
Ryan?
Wars.
Yeah, Ryan Johnson is not meant for Star Wars, but this kind of
Yeah.
film, this is where he excels.
Yeah, so I might have to go back and watch it.
Yeah, go watch it. It's your typical like Clue type movie. It's a whodunit. Like it's silly. They're trying to figure out who murdered someone, and this looks like the same kind of idea, but now he was on a boat or at a resort or something. I can't remember. But it has
On a
Dave
boat.
Bautista, which looks pretty amazing. I
Yeah,
love Dave.
the cast is full, man.
Yeah, they do a really good job with the first one and this one of like having a really good cast. And Daniel Craig is kind of the one tie-in factor between the two movies where he's the detective that tries to solve whatever happened. And I'm assuming it's probably another murder.
It looks like it.
Yeah. I mean, you never want to guess too much. But yeah, Glass Onion looks pretty good. Of these three movies, that's the one I'd like to see the most.
And it's on Netflix. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Straight to Netflix, baby. Okay, it's time. It's time to dip our toes in the news jacuzzi. Okay, like I teased it at the beginning of the episode. We have one, two, three, four, five of the best stories ever. So I'm just gonna start in order. Same
That's
order
a
that
hot jacuzzi.
it's a hot jacuzzi. Like this is what happens when we stay away too long. So our first story is quite wild. It comes to us from Newsweek, a reliable news source as far as I can tell.
As reliable as us, right?
Oh, yeah. Maybe they don't get quoted as much as us, but
Oh.
I'm sure they're good too. Florida man allegedly crashed into FedEx truck while receiving oral sex. A Florida man allegedly crashed his vehicle into a FedEx truck while receiving oral sex from a woman in the passenger seat. Well, that checks out. According to Fort Lauderdale Fire Rescue, who responded to the scene, the SUV allegedly crashed head on into a FedEx truck on Thursday evening in Fort Lauderdale. The two individuals the two individuals inside the SUV were reportedly naked. Now, I don't want to get too personal into my personal life, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to get fully naked for Roadhead.
Why is she naked?
My guess is there must have been more going on, right? This just happened to be the finale, maybe.
Yeah.
It was it was discovered that the driver of the SUV was allegedly receiving oral sex from the female passenger at the time of the crash. Receiving oral sex while driving is more common than one might think. With a study conducted by researchers at how would you like to have been the guy that is in on this study? So the researchers at the University of South Dakota revealing, are you ready for this? What percentage of male students do you think engage in oral sex?
100%.
Well, it is South Dakota, and there's nothing else to do there. But no, not quite as much. 37%, which still seems like an outstanding amount to me.
Wait,
Male,
engage or engage while driving?
yes, that's what oral sex means. Oh, excuse me. Yes, while driving. I should.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
37%. Yeah, 100% for sure. But 37% of male students engage in some manner of sex while behind the wheel. Kids, if you're listening, that is dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. And what an embarrassing way. Like, I'm always curious, like, if the guy's receiving some friendship from his passenger and they crash into a car, I mean, is there any kind of like biting issues?
It's like, how did they know that they were doing that? Like, were they like, I gotta finish, keep going, and it's like, I don't know, like, do they report that, or why would they tell the police officer? You know?
Well, that's this. Yeah, they must have, right? They must have told. It said WPLG reported that the two individuals were inside the FedEx truck vehicle when it crashed. Oh, so there were two guys driving in the FedEx truck, so they only sustained minor injuries. So the FedEx employees were a-okay. And as far as I know, they weren't giving each other oral sex because that's not the kind of package they deliver. The driver, however, of the SUV suffered unspecified injuries to his groin area.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. There it is.
There's
Oh
proof
my
in the
god.
pudding.
It is unclear if anyone will be charged for the collision. What the hell? I mean, that's reckless driving 101. I'm no
Yeah,
expert. I'm no police.
maybe it's okay in Florida.
Yeah, well, in Florida, there's just different rules. Okay, so my next story, moving on.
That's your first story. Whew.
It gets even better as we
Yeah.
go. California woman finds $36,000 in cash hidden inside a couch she acquired through Craigslist. A California woman who received a free, get this, free, she didn't pay
Free.
for it. A California woman who received a free couch from a stranger online made the discovery of a lifetime when she later found $36,000 cash tucked away inside. Vicky Umandu, a resident of San Bernardino County, said she was looking through the Craigslist to find furniture for her new home when she found some pieces that someone was just giving away for free. She said, I think maybe this is a gimmick, but I'll call him anyways. The woman later learned that the family was giving away the furniture due to the recent passing of a loved one. I just moved in and I don't have anything in my house. I was so excited, so we picked it up and brought it home. Upon moving the pieces into her residence, however, Umadu noticed something peculiar. Stashed underneath the cushion was $36,000 in cash. I wonder how the other people never noticed that.
Yeah.
She found it instantly. The California woman, this is one of these things. We read nothing about good news anymore. It's always bad news, awful people doing awful things like getting BJs while driving. She said she notified the family and returned the money.
She returned the money.
However, because of her good deed, the family rewarded her generosity. So it doesn't tell you how much that they gave her, but they gave her hundreds of dollars as a reward for doing the right thing. So that's a good news story. Everybody won. She went looking for a free couch, probably got enough money to go buy a new couch rather than some dirty ass dead person Craigslist couch. And the other people were like, "Oh, poor granddaddy died," and they got 35K and extra change.
Yeah, I think if she kept that money, she would have been haunted, man.
It would have been bad juju for sure. Now speaking on bad juju, moving on to our next story. This one is like you can't catch a break. You ever watch Final Destination and the kids are like, let's not get on the plane, and they don't get on the plane because the one kid dreams they're all gonna crash and die, and then the plane crashes, and then every one of them gets killed by other things because they were supposed to die. Man eaten by piranhas after jumping in lake to flee from bees. A man was reportedly eaten by, first of all, I didn't know people actually got eaten by piranhas. I thought it was a movie thing. A man was reportedly eaten by piranhas after he jumped into a lake to escape a group of bees that attacked him and his friends. The 30-year-old, this is also, by the way, was brought to us by Newsweek. Thank you, Newsweek, for such a great week. The 30-year-old was fishing on Sunday with two of his friends at a lake in the municipality of, I'm not even going to try it, but in southern Brazil.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, what the hell lake has piranhas?
At one point, the men all jumped into the lake to escape the bees, but discovered shortly after that the lake was filled with piranhas. They went fishing in the lake and they didn't know that it was a piranha lake. The carnivorous fish. Oh, they're just explaining what piranhas are. Hey guys, piranhas are carnivorous fish with razor sharp teeth. In case you didn't know.
I didn't know that.
The man's two friends managed to swim to safety. Authorities reported they found the man dead 4 meters away from the shoreline after the fire department was called for help. The man's Man's body was disfigured by the piranhas, which tore apart some of his body, including his face. God, that's a real bummer. It was not clear whether the man died from drowning or from the piranha attack. It says that the position he was found in was more common with drowning. So maybe he drowned before he died from piranhas, but it's kind of like you can't win.
Yeah, just gets sting by bee, man. It's
Yeah, unless it was like killer bees. I feel like you made a poor decision, my friend. So, gosh damn, can you imagine? You're like, oh no, bees! Everybody in the water.
Like you said, they're fishing. They were freaking fishing. How did they not know?
Get in the water, hurry! All right, my next story. This next story is just as wild. So, what's kind of funny about this? So, the next story is the headline is Hooters waitress caught dipping hot wings in her vagina. So, I came across this on the Twitters, and before we jump on here, I pull up the stories on the computer. And what was the best part about this is when I just typed in, I start, you know how Google likes to autofill for you, which is dangerous when you start talking about stuffing things in vaginas. I started typing waitress caught pudding in her vagina, and it filled in hot dog. And I'm like, no, it's hot wings. What is this? I clicked on it. I found not one but two stories of angry waitresses shoving things up their vajayjays.
What?
So, yeah, so I found another story about a waitress caught putting a hot dog in her vagina before serving it to customers. So this one was actually caught on CCTV. This is an older story, so this isn't breaking news by any means, but there's CCTV footage showing this waitress shoving hot dogs up her vajayjay before putting them in a bun and serving them to patients. The post wrote, security camera footage shows waitress lifting up her skirt, pulling down her panties, and inserting hot dog before she feeds it to the customers. Unfortunately, this story doesn't give us too much information if she went to jail. Now, this one's even more interesting. So it says here, Houston, Texas. Jessa Sinclair, age 24, was taken into police custody after she was witnessed by co-workers dipping hot wings into her vagina before serving them to customers. From what the authorities have told us, Jessica would dip the wings into her vagina. This is gross. I mean, the story was gross to begin with, but it gets grosser. You can
do it. You can do it.
I can do it. She would dip the hot wings in her vagina while on and off of her period. This was done. This was done to customers who had been rude or made off remarks about her appearance. Why she was doing this on her period is anyone's guess. The introduction of blood, however, to the crime heightens the consequences of her action. Tampering with food along with the addition of human blood is a criminal offense with special circumstances and carries a sentence up to 20 years in prison.
Damn.
Oh my God.
Is this how COVID started?
This is so wild. Like, first of all, number one, don't go to Hooters. It's gross anyways. It's demeaning and not a place for kids. You always see people taking their kids there. It's like, what's wrong with you? Not a good spot to go to anyways, but gosh darn it. And the worst part about it is, the guys that go to Hooters are making off-putting remarks to these ladies because they make them all dress like skanks anyways.
Yeah.
So the guys in there like, hey, baby, and like probably hitting them and do all sorts of things to them. So I suppose the lesson learned is, A, don't go to Hooters. B, if you do, don't be awful to the waitresses. Oh, that was quite an awful story. All right.
I kind of want to get some wings now, though.
Now you're craving wings?
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it, whether she was on or off, you probably couldn't tell if it was buffalo sauce or not. Who knows? Yeah. Okay, so this next one is actually a fairly new. This just happened. This story was just updated on the 16th, and today's the 21st.
No.
What happened?
Dude, my camera died.
Oh, okay.
We got like 2 minutes left.
All right, let's wrap it up real quick. Okay, so this next story is fairly recently, just updated as of September 16th. So the headline reads, chess grandmaster denies cheating using anal beads. If you thought chess was boring, or the Netflix show Queen's Gambit sorted that out, however, some recent cheating accusations have made discipline a hell of a lot kinkier. Indeed, a 19-year-old chess grandmaster, Hans Niemann, and if you've been on Twitter at all, this guy's been trending for a couple of weeks now because he beat like somebody way better, supposedly, than him, is currently at the heart of the scandal and is rocking the chess world. Or should that be making the chess world vibrate? Come on. What
Whoa, who wrote that? Good writing.
Euronews.culture. Excellent work. Neiman has been hit with accusations on social media which state that the only reason he won against the world's top grandmaster, Magnus Carlsen, by the way, Magnus is the most dope name, earlier this month, is that the young player cheated using wireless vibrating anal beads. Yes, you read that right. So what happened and how did the anal beads get involved? That's what we're all wondering.
Yeah.
so Neiman was an unexpected meteoric rise. He's only 19. He's a young kid. He shouldn't have gotten this far. But now all of a sudden he's playing the grand champion Magnus, who's never been beaten in 53 sittings, which apparently he's the Tom Brady of chess. He is the GOAT. So Nielsen was the lowest ranking player of the 10 players in St. Louis who had become the first chess player to beat Carlsen in more than 2 years. Carlsen decided to withdraw from the event following his loss. I've withdrawn from the tournament. I've always enjoyed the St. Louis Chess Club, and I hope to be back, he tweeted. The 5-time world chess champion also added a video of football coach Jose Morano's 2020 news conference saying, I prefer not to speak. I speak if I'm only in trouble, and I don't want big trouble. So they're like, what has happened here? So to spice things up further, people started accusing him of using these anal beads, vibrating anal beads, because he had a spotter that could spot, and they were able to run computer simulations and things outside of it, and they would vibrate certain amounts so that it was almost like Morse code. So he knew,
shit.
so he would know which moves to make. So
That's
this is how the
crazy.
sex toy came into play.
That's creative, man. I gotta give him that.
So even some big names got into this. Elon Musk himself, the one that only Mr. Tesla, said, talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one can see because it's in your butt. Oh, man. Only Elon would take it there.
So silly.
Elon even deleted the tweet afterwards because he was a little bit worried about how it might come out. But yeah, this thing is still rocking the chess world. Everybody and their mother in the chess world is still talking about it. No one understands how they could have this statistical anomaly of someone so young, so new, coming up and beating this guy. And just the idea that they came up with that this is how he was doing it is just so wild to me.
I bet you they got it from the Houston Astros cheating.
Where they're banging on the cans. That is exactly
thing.
the same idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's what happened. I can suss it out right now. The kid probably just got lucky, didn't cheat, just got on a roll. Somebody on Reddit, because that's where all this stuff comes from. So this is what happened, probably using ideas of the Houston Astro thing that you're talking about, knowing that's how you could get people to know ahead of time. Because I'm not sure that unless I was still pretty damn good at chess, that even Morse code telling me to do certain things would help enough. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't understand it, man.
Yeah, the whole thing's wild, but gotta love technology. So if that's what you want to use it for, why not?
Let's go anal beads.
Let's go anal beads. So that wraps up our news jacuzzi. I think one of the best ones we've had in a long time, full of all sorts of things inserted into human bodies that shouldn't be, reckless human beings, and a few good people. So we even included some decent human beings in this one. So that was good. So that's all I have. Do you have anything else you want to mention before we wrap this bad boy up and post it?
Man, it's gonna be a long night. It's gonna go me and my Steam Deck all night. So I'm eager.
So have your hot Steam Deck action. Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll be more often with this podcast now that
Yeah.
Ren's all moved into his new house, has a brand new man cave rocking and rolling. And I think that we're going to continue to work towards making this thing more evergreen and less pop culture completely. And it's gonna be awesome. So we can't wait to see you guys on the flip side. Make sure to tune in every week. Catch you later. Bye.